Hello and welcome to another update video about Cardano. As usual, we take a look at the prices, latest price developments, try to make sense about the latest prices. As always, I don't want to really give indicators or anything, but we all try to make sense here about what our investment is doing, understand prices. Some of you guys want to understand TA a little bit more, which is fine. And I try to share my thoughts about where we could be heading and what to look out for. But again, please don't consider that financial advice or trading or investment advice. Please use it for, just educational purposes. Also, it's supposed to be entertainment. Hopefully you can learn something from it. But I know you appreciate these videos. You really like to understand more about the Cardano prices and what Cardano is doing. So as always, we take a quick look at Bitcoin first, because this is moving the market. As we said it would, it is trading along this ascending wedge currently. So as you know, we've got this huge ascending wedge in which Bitcoin is actually trading, which could actually, my view is, it could potentially at some point end the bear market, end the bull market. This ascending wedge, in my view, I mean, this can actually take us to 70, 80K potentially. If we break out to the upside of that, I mean, we've been trading in this ascending wedge now since, guys, let's say for the last 4 weeks. So this is a huge one. If we break out of this yellow ascending wedge to the upside, that will boost the bull market even further. So it's important to look out for these levels. If we break to the downside, honestly, I think that could start the bear market potentially. I think that would be a huge trend reversal in my opinion. And bear in mind, I always try to also be on the side of caution here. I think this channel is growing, so there's growing responsibility as well. I'm not one of these channels that is really hyping everything. I really want to be realistic, and I believe my view is Bitcoin will get to 100K this year, and I refer always to the stock to flow model. But it's important that in financial markets everything can always happen, so always be on the side of caution. Always understand when the momentum is changing, always understand when there is a trend reversal upcoming. So this is very important to understand. And we're going to have a look here currently at the Bitcoin chart. You can see huge ascending wedge, bearish pattern, normally a trend reversal pattern, and it's a huge one. So we just want to be aware of it, which doesn't say it needs to happen. It doesn't need to say, it doesn't say, if we break, sort of down, it needs to be that bear market, but it could be. I just want to prepare you for these things. But at the moment, it's all still looking good. We're currently trading actually in a ascending wedge within this huge ascending wedge, and even if we go down and hit the yellow line, it doesn't mean anything really, because we've been trading within this lower support level and the top resistance line for a while now. So however, at the moment we are in this ascending wedge here, and there could be a breakout happening soon. That ascending wedge allows us to predict where prices might be heading, because what we need to do, as long as you get like 3 touches, you can sort of validate a trend or a channel or a wedge, and we can see that we are trading here. The price gets squeezed more and more, and the more it gets squeezed, the higher the probability that it will break out to any direction. So at the moment, very nice here on the 4-hour chart, we can see that the 20-day moving average is again seems to be providing support. So for me, the next move might here be to the upside, something like, if that is happening, we could be trading along up to the 51K now finally. At the moment it's dropping again slightly, but we haven't broken out to the downside. At the moment I can't tell you, nobody can say what's going to happen. What we can understand, if we break below like the 49, we can assume that if we stay below it, because then it's likely that we have already tested that, or have then flipped the support to resistance. So that means if we drop and there might be a test of that level, and if we then drop, it might mean that we actually stay below this for potentially for a moment, which wouldn't be great, but still it's sort of moving up then. It's just something to be aware of. So at the moment, I think no great moves seem to be happening at the moment. We're just moving up and down. Actually good for traders who want to sort of swing trade at the moment. It's quite predictable what prices might be doing. But this is Bitcoin at the moment. So at the moment, we're sort of at the lower end. Important to watch these signals. If we break to the downside, we probably go to this level here at around 47. If we break to the upside, we can even go to potentially over 52K. Or maybe we will move in that direction here until we hit the 52K. At the moment, really hard to say. For me, it's rather actually, unfortunately, it seems to be losing momentum a little bit at the moment, Bitcoin. So if I had to make a guess, I would probably say we're going to the downside at the moment, because it is losing a bit in momentum. And also, this is sort of a bearish pattern. So yeah, for me, I think it might actually go down a little bit more. That's only a guess, really, from what I can see, and about MACD being in the red here on the 4-hour chart, and volume dropping down a little bit, and the RSI going down as well. So yeah, it seems to be losing momentum a little bit. What we always want to pay attention to is if there is a trend reversal coming. At the moment, I can't see it, but as soon as we see maybe a huge top, like a swing, like a top really, and then another top, and we can't make any new highs, at that point we really need to become careful. We really need to become careful, because this is really what we need to watch out for. What happened before, you can see that clearly here. We made some really impressive gains, one high, another high, and then we could see Bitcoin really struggling to make another high. We dropped, but then another high, but it gets, it gets more difficult. You can see the distance, from one top to the next, the price difference gets smaller and smaller, and then you even make a low, and that is really a signal that there will be a sort of probably a sell-off or something happening. So we need to pay attention to that. We can already see a dropping RSI, so it's just to be aware of it, guys. Just to be aware of it. No need to panic now, but just to be aware. Cardano, on the other hand, seems to be making really impressive gains. Currently, this is the daily chart. Can't really see a lot on the daily, but as you know, we've made some really nice gains. On the daily, I can't see it really losing any momentum. We've made new highs here. Yes, there was, but we are also in overbought territory on the RSI here, so dropping a little bit, but that's no surprise, because we've nearly been at 90 on the RSI. And if we look at the last all-time high, where was it on the daily? Was that here? So we've not even been at the 90 level back then. So this is really a very high level to be on the daily. So no wonder we're dropping a little bit. There needs to be a cool-off period after those huge impressive gains. So that is no need to worry at this stage. We're looking at the 4-hour chart for Cardano, and so take a quick look at the 4-hour chart. And again, we can look at this all in more detail this evening. I don't really have a lot of time, at these hours here during the day, but I still provide an update, because I know a lot of you guys really like that. What we can see, that there's a new level forming here, so a new support level 285. So 285 on the 4-hour has really provided some support now. It was also resistance here and here. So this is now seems to become a support level. We dropped below as we pretty much predicted, really, or I assumed it would happen, because it happened before when we saw that formation building here, that huge pump, and then we had an ascending channel, and we broke to the downside after that, and it happened again, and I explained that in this morning's video as well. So it could be trailing along that support level now for a while. That is currently the support level. If we drop below that, we could drop to the 266, 270 at the moment, which is the 20-day moving average. So that's something to be aware of. I don't see really a slowing momentum at the moment, not at all on the daily, and that is what I'm looking out for. On the 4-hour, it normally doesn't mean that much, because it is just can be just a quick consolidation. I think still the market wants to see Cardano over $3. I think with Japan getting onto the exchanges tomorrow, that is positive news for Cardano. But yeah, it's just important that we've broken out of that, but we did that before, getting a lot of traction. At the moment, we can see some neutral patterns here forming. The red and the green candles pretty much the same size. So really a neutral candlestick pattern forming here on the 4-hour chart. Really seems to be now this support level. It might mean that for a moment we might now trade between this 285 and the $3 level, which was resistance before. But I can't really, on the grand scheme of things, I can't see a slowing momentum. So really positive looking, everything really good. We are also out of the overbought territory on the 4-hour chart now, so still above 50, so bullish. Also on the 4-hour chart, you can't really see, we've got a top here, another top here, and the tops were pretty much the same height. So it's not like that we're actually dropping in momentum on this 4-hour chart. The awesome oscillator also made a new high, so they're looking good as well. And I think Cardano, in contrast to Bitcoin, it looks really good. Bitcoin, as I said, slowing down a little bit in momentum. It has done for a while now. So yeah, I'm a bit conscious about Bitcoin, to be honest. On the hourly chart, we can see very nice that we are now testing this support level here, 285. So during the day, if you want to follow that, 285 is really a support level. That is, for me, key support at the moment. Has been support here on the hourly as well. Here, definitely a few times, the hourly candles testing the support level here as well. So as soon as we drop below that, there could be a slight correction, maybe even down to 255. Right, so that is something to be aware of. But I believe, my view, this week we should get above the $3, and reasons for that: we've got the Alonso's 360 update coming on Thursday. Normally they share plenty of good news then, and we've got Japan coming into the market, and all of this, if you can look at that pattern, yeah, what happens here when we compare that to what happened here, it's pretty similar. So again, here we had a very similar formation. So what I always see it like, you know, these sideways moves, they always like, I mean, you've got a huge uptrend or huge upward move, but what you then get is like a connecting pattern until you really get to the next upward move. So you've got always these trending moves, and then you've got these sideways consolidations really, but these are really like connecting patterns, and it's pretty much like sometimes like a channel forming or anything. But yeah, at the moment, bit of a sideways move. I think as long as we need to wait if there is a clear pattern forming or anything. Looks a bit like a channel now potentially. So what could be happening again is maybe that becomes some sort of a flag pattern then. I mean, we had a sort of a upwards descending ascending wedge here, or ascending channel, but as soon as that gets like a parallel, like a horizontal lines channel, that could actually become something like a flag pattern, which then would be bullish. So these patterns can shift and form and transform, but if they are not really clear, these patterns, then it's not 100% clear. So it could become something similar like that, which actually in the end became a triangle formation here for me. So the price was squeezed again a little bit, and then we saw that pump, and again that the same here. So we just need to see what's going on. I think there's nothing going to happen immediately. I think it's now really in price discovery sort of, and really not knowing what it's going to do. On the volume side of things, it's getting a bit quieter now as well. Buyers and sellers in the market, not very clear what's going to happen. And again, we need to be careful. As soon as we can see some, and I'm on the hourly, let me go back to the daily one. As soon as we can see that it is losing steam, we really need to be careful, because we get closer to the end of the bull market, no doubt. The further we go along this year, the closer we get, which doesn't mean that it needs to be in the next few weeks, but certainly with every day we get closer to the end of the bull market. I think we still have a good journey to go, but we just need to be aware of it. And as soon as we see here on the daily something like that, like very much volatility, huge pumps, and then you can see maybe we try to get up here with a wick, a long wick to the upside, but that means the candle actually closed down here. And as soon as you have these huge candles and you get the wicks, very long wicks to the top, which means that the buyers weren't that strong in the end. So they tried it, but were rejected, and then a lot of sellers stepped in, and then you maybe see a red candle. That will be the sign for me, guys. This is huge. There might be a sell-off. So it's just something to be aware of. I think Cardano will hold very strong just because of everything that's going on, also especially in the next few weeks. But it's just that a lot of people have made a lot of profits. Not everybody is in there for the long run, so just something to be aware of. We're going to have a closer look at all of this later today. I think at the moment doesn't look like we are going to immediately go to the $3. Seems to be a small phase, maybe for a few days of consolidation, but it's hard to predict what's going to happen tomorrow, because tomorrow all the the Japanese customers are coming into the market. So potentially tomorrow we could see another boost. That's just my guess. Again, no trading advice, but that's how I make sense of these price moves here. Hopefully that helped you, that little update, and we can see each other in a video later this evening. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye.